Alright guys, hello, my name is Elizabeth, this is Genie and Jane Fibercrafts, it's podcast episode number 3. Yeah, let's just jump right in. It's been, I don't know, about, I think the last one I filmed in May, so it's been about three or 4 months since then. I do have some stuff to talk about, so what I'm wearing is actually, I made this, I sewed this. Since it's summertime, I've been doing a lot more sewing, and I will be putting together a video with all of my summer me-made wardrobe additions. So that's includes some knitting and of course some sewing. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I actually wrote down my stuff for this podcast. Got a little notebook, and let's just jump right in, shall we? So I have been knitting pretty monogamously this past couple of months because I had a couple of things that I really wanted to finish. So one of those I did. So actually I'm going to go in chronological order. The first thing that I finished, you might recognize from podcast number 2. It's the Just Try Me Cowl. This is by Ruolo. And I finished this before I even put the podcast out. But it was still on the needles last time you saw it, so here she is. Very pretty. I knit this with a kit from Bare Naked Wools. I got it at the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival back in May. And so all of these stripes are different either colorways or types of DK weight natural wool yarn. So I forget which one is which, but I've got their Better Breakfast DK, their Breakfast Blend DK, their Kent DK, and Stone Soup DK, and those are all blends of natural wool fibers. I think the Stone Soup also has alpaca in it. Maybe the Breakfast Blend does as well. I don't remember. They're all very nice. They were wonderful to work with, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. And it was really cool to have sort of a sampler kit because I could try a lot of different colorways and types of yarn without committing to an entire skein of each, because I forget which one this is, but these 2 stripes are the same, and I didn't really like knitting with it. It's either the Better Breakfast or the Breakfast Blend. I cannot remember. But yeah, it was good to know, because how else are you going to know that you don't like knitting with something until you actually knit with it? So yeah, this is really cool. It's not quite a summer knit, but I just couldn't resist casting this on and casting it off. It was pretty addictive. So yeah, that's FO number 1. FO number 2 is the Loop Edge Shawl. That's by Melissa Yoder Ricks of Wild Hair Fiber Studio. And I talked about this. I was in the middle of casting it off last time. So this is the shawl. It's gorgeous. I'm not going to put this on because I have the microphone on, but it's really nice. I finally blocked it. I had been sort of wearing it unblocked because it's garter stitch and it was nice and squishy, but I finally, bit the bullet, was like, I need to block this because it's got this nice eyelet detail down the center or the spine, and I really wanted that to be blocked out, So yeah, this is it. I finished it in time for Pride Month. I think I cast this off the last day of May or something, maybe the first day of June, and it was really fun to knit. This is with the Wild Hair Fiber Studio Pinnacle Sock, which is a fingering weight, or a light fingering weight, 75-25 merino, superwash merino nylon. Okay. The camera shut off, so I can't film a podcast without having some camera issues, I guess. So I think I was finishing up with this one, the loop edge shawl. I had mentioned that it was knit with a hand-dyed yarn from, let me find the page, from Wild Hair Fiber Studio, and it's their Pinnacle Sock. It's a 75-25 superwash merino nylon blend, which, you know, superwash is not my favorite thing to knit with, but it just makes such beautiful colors. Like, look at that. So, yeah, I love this shawl. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's very light and airy. Perfect for, you know, fall, spring, indoors during the summer. I get cold easily, so I like having a little shawl. I think that's enough said about this. The last FO that I did talk about after the camera shut off and I had no idea, is the My Little Secret crop. So it's this, and I love this. It's not entirely finished. I still have to weave in some ends, as you can see, but it is, I've already worn it like around the house, and I absolutely love this. This is a pattern by, if you don't know already, it's Jessie Maed Designs, and it's a very popular pattern. It's been around. I was inspired to knit this when I saw Kat from Heather and Hops. She has a black one that she wears all the time, and I love that, so I wanted to make my own. And this is knit in Knit Crate's June yarn, which is Uru Yarn Asher in the colorway Old Barn. So it's gorgeous, like rust red color. And I saw the yarn and I was like, I need to make that into a crop top. So it is a linen, cotton, tencel, and nylon blend. It's a sport weight yarn. And I loved knitting with this. This was perfect for like taking out and about during, you know, in the summer heat. I actually took this to an amusement park and I knit like in the line for like roller coasters and things. And it was really good for that because it's ribbed, so there's a little bit of interest to it, but it's in the round, or it was at the time. So it's not super complicated and you can do it while like talking to people. And it's not wool or acrylic or like heavy at all. So it was really nice in like 95-degree humidity, heat, you know, Maryland, Pennsylvania weather. So yeah, I love this. I don't think there's anything left to say about this. I sort of went on about it in my first failed try. Yeah, so really happy with this. I will weave in these ends so that I can wear it outside before the summer ends. So that's it for my knitting FOs. I also have, as I mentioned, this dress for sewing. I did another jersey knit dress, a button-up dress in cotton for 4th of July, and a romper for Pride. And I'll do a separate video on all of my like summer makes, so those will be in that. Okay, so that's FOs, and now we get to turn to whips. Like I said earlier, I've been pretty monogamous this summer, or rather monogamous for me. In podcast 2, I think I had like 8 whips that I showed you guys, and they're all still like active whips, but for the past like 3 months, I haven't really been knitting on a lot of them or working on a lot of them because some of them are crochet. But these are new cast-ons since I talked to you guys at the end of May. And so the first one is going to be a birthday gift for my mom. It's a Pure Joy shawl, which is a pattern by Joji Locatelli. And it's pretty bunched up right now. This is what it looks like right now. I'm knitting this in a beautiful hand-dyed fingering weight yarn from Cornbread and Honey. It's their light sock, and it's a 75-25 blend. I actually picked up this yarn at a D-stash for a local knitter who was destashing a lot of her yarn and was giving the proceeds to the Alzheimer's Association, or a foundation that, supports Alzheimer's research. And my grandmother passed away from Alzheimer's, which is my mother's mom. And this is going to be a birthday gift for my mom. Her favorite color is purple. And I just thought it was perfect. The two colorways came together in a set. I think it was for a shawl at one point. And I just, they work so well together. It's this wonderful like cream color with, specks in it of blue and purple. And then this is a beautiful tonal purple, and I just love it. So I wouldn't necessarily wear this color combination, but I think my mom will, which is what matters. So, I cast this on in June. This was a plan for months, actually, since I saw the yarn, and I bought it back in like February or something. And I've been really enjoying this. This is a garter stitch shawl. It's a crescent shape. So you work it up with wedges in using like rattan turns. And I've never done that before, but I really enjoyed it. It's very good for like sitting and watching TV or YouTube, and you can pay attention to what you're watching, but also, you don't have to focus too much on what you're doing, but there's also enough interest to keep you going. So it's almost done. I've only got a few days to finish this. My mom's birthday is on the 16th, so I don't even know if you'll be watching this by then, but hopefully this will be finished by then. I think I've got like 20 more rows or something, so wish me luck. So that is number 1, and then new cast on number 2 was back in June, I think. This was early summer. I really wanted to do a crop top, and I didn't have the yarn yet for the Knit Crate yarn hadn't arrived yet for the My Little Secret crop that I wanted to knit. So I cast on one of my it had been in my queue for a while, or like in my favorites on Ravelry for a while. It's the Zinnia crop top. This is by Hannah Martin, and I'm crocheting this in a black cotton that I got just like from Walmart like a year ago. Actually, it's in this adorable little cauldron because it's never too early for Halloween, and it nicely fit the wound up cake of the black cotton in here. So, ooh, my hook is, oh, there it is, okay. So, this is what that looks like. Ooh, it's a little, so this is the front, and I got all the way through the front bit, and then I just have to do like the sides, because then it'll tie in the back. It's sort of like a halter kind of crop, so it'll have like a necktie up here, and then it will have, the rest of it. This is difficult. It'll have like sides like that, and then it'll tie around the back. But I started running out of this yarn because I only had one skein and it needs 2, and I haven't been able to find the black cotton yarn at Walmart every time I've been, so they've just been out of stock. So this has been sort of on hiatus since, mid to late June. I would like to finish this by the end of the summer. I'm not exactly sure if that's going to happen, but, it's a nice, simple project. It just has like double crochets, so this one was, I sort of forgot that I'd been making this, actually, because it's been so long and I've been focusing so much on the Pure Joy and the My Little Secret crop that I was like, oh wait, yeah, I have another summer crop top that I was making. So we'll see if that gets finished. Okay, and then the third cast on since I last spoke to you is this. This is the Love Magic sweater by Disco Stitch, and I am making this in I got this yarn from Knit Crate. It's a special colorway for them, but it's a discontinued yarn now. So it's a Mrs. Crosby carpet bag colorway called Muma Paduri, which is Romanian, and I definitely didn't pronounce that correctly. But this is what it looks like. It's very Halloween. So I got all the way through the whole body of the sweater, And then I'm on the sleeves now. And I took a bit of a break on this. I knit this whole thing up basically Memorial Day weekend and then the month of June. And I finished up, this little lace at the bottom like late June. And then I sort of put this on a break so that I could focus on the crop top, because this is a Halloween knit and the crop top was a summer knit. So I needed to, rearrange my priorities. But the blend of this yarn is, I think, 80/20 merino silk. It's a superwash merino. It's a single ply, DK weight yarn. It's absolutely gorgeous to work with. It's super silky. I mean, it's a silk blend. So this is just amazing. And it's going to have these beautiful bell sleeves, which is just so over the top. But this is a very over the top colorway. So yeah, this is my Halloween knit, and it will be finished by October. I want to wear this on Halloween, and I think I can make good progress now that I've finished up My Little Secret crop, and then once I finish up the Pure Joy, I think I'll be turning back to this, because it's just sleeve knitting, so it's in the round, it's stockinette for the most part, and it'll be good to like sit and watch TV and do that. I'm very excited about this. I really hope it'll fit me. It's supposed to be a little bit cropped. I'm not sure how that's going to go. And if you remember from my last episode, the previous sweater that I made just grew enormously. So I really hope this will fit, because I just love the yarn and I knew exactly what I wanted to make when I saw it. And yeah, so that is new cast on number 3, or whip number 3 since you've last seen me. Let me put that away. And this one is just in an old like packing cube that I have, which is one of those expandable ones. So I expanded the bottom to fit the 2 cakes of yarn, because it's a hand-dyed yarn, or like a batch dyed yarn. So it has a lot of variegation, and so I'm doing helical knitting, where you knit with one strand, and then you sort of slip 3 stitches, and then you pick up and keep knitting with the other strand, and you're basically knitting 2 rows at the same time. So you sort of, for increases, for like the raglan, I had to be really careful that I knew which one I was doing, because with one strand you always increase, and with the other strand you never increase, with like a 1-2, like a alternating raglan increase pattern. So it was a little bit of effort to do that, but then I think that the finished product is going to be well worth it, because it won't have like a ton of streaking and pooling and everything. So that is... Oh, and then the other thing, which I haven't been working on a lot, but I did get a little progress on, so I wanted to show you, is the Secret Garden blanket. This is by Kirsten Holloway. It's going to be a baby blanket for my cousin's little daughter, who was born in May. This is not going to make it there in time for her to like still be a baby. I don't know how... I have not been very motivated to work on it recently, but I would like to finish it to send to them. I might just have to make it a little bit bigger so she can use it like as a toddler. Oh well. But this is what it looks like right now. I ran out of the white that I was using, and I had sort of planned for that. So I had another white, but it didn't match perfectly because I'm just using up some stash cotton yarn for this. So I put a pink stripe in the middle. And then hopefully, as I'm continuing with the white, which you can sort of see here, it won't be immediately obvious that it's a different white, because it's not like right next to each other. So this is what it looks like right now. It's grown a little bit since you last saw it. Still gorgeous. Actually holding this now, I really do want to work this up. So we'll see. I would love to finish this by the fall and then get it sent over to them. Maybe as a Christmas gift, I don't know. So yeah, those are the whips. And if I still have some time on, my camera cuts off recording at 20 minutes because it's not purpose built for videography. It can do video, but it's mostly a photography camera. So if I still have time, my acquisitions are very short since I last spoke to you, which I'm very proud of myself for. I am definitely trying to knit from stash because as you can see, I have a lot of stash. So acquisition number 1 was 1 skein from Knit Crate for June, which was the Uru yarn Asher in Old Barn, which I showed you earlier with my little secret crop. And acquisition 2, there's a Dollar Tree right next door to me, and sometimes when I'm in there for snacks or something, I'll go to their yarn section and see if they have any nice colors, because it's $1.25, and that's pretty cost effective, especially if it's 100% cotton yarn. So they had 3 colorways, which I just thought were gorgeous, and this is the Premier Yarn Just Cotton. It's I think only sold at Dollar Trees, and that's a US dollar store chain. Very popular around here where I am. And so I got 3 of these. These are 3 just called white. This is 100% cotton yarn. It's 104 yards per 60 grams, and it's a worsted weight. Just a basic cotton yarn. This is white. This is Dusty Rose. I have 2 of these. And this is Sage, and I have 3 of these. I'm not sure what I'm making with these yet. Maybe a blanket, maybe summer top. I don't know. It's just nice to have cotton for those sort of summery, spring kind of knits, or makes, because I usually crochet with cotton, not knit. So those are just sitting right up here. And in total, I only bought 9 skeins since you last saw me. Very proud of myself. I'll probably get more, I'm not trying to go on like a no buy. I'm just trying to be intentional and to only get things that are gonna, be used or are gonna actually like augment my life, So yeah, that's it, I think. My knitting plans for the future, obviously I want to finish my mom's shawl very soon. And then there's the Halloween sweater, the Love Magic sweater that I showed you. I need to pick that scarf back up. The Harvest scarf that I showed in a couple of last podcasts. I really want to get that finished so I can wear it in the fall. And then I do have another sweater that I want to knit up in an orange 100% wool worsted weight yarn that I got from Knit Crate. It sort of has like a tweedy texture, and it's a cable knit sweater that I want to knit for the fall. So I'll see if I actually get to that. It might just be like a fall knit, not necessarily finished in time to wear in the fall. But that's basically what I've got in my head. I do have some sewing plans, but I think I'll talk about that in my, me made summer roundup video, which I'll make and hopefully put out by September, to give myself sort of that extra, the month of August to finish all that up. So, yeah, thanks for watching. If you want to stick around, just see that Me Made Makes video, feel free to hit subscribe down below. I don't really do this for anyone other than like myself. Like, this is just for fun. So, stick around if you want. If you don't, that's okay too. But hopefully you enjoyed this, and yeah, I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.